Delilah from the Holistic Enchilada, and today's video is going to be for all my beginners out there. So this is to help anybody who is new to the curly girl method or embracing your curly hair and you don't really know what products to pick, like what products to start off with. I know there's tons of blog posts and resources out there with lists of products. I have a few, but the question that I get the most is I don't know what to start with, aside from what products will work in my hair. That's a whole separate thing. I can't tell you what's gonna work specifically for your hair through like messaging like that. I would need to do like a video consultation, which is something that I offer. But for most people, I think there are a couple of brands and products that could work well in the beginning, and I think that what's happening is a lot of people are using way too many products that are really heavy, and they're not properly using them. So people are buying products that cause buildup, and then they're using them for 2 months, and then they're wondering why their hair looks worse, and it's because your hair is full of buildup because you don't really understand when to clarify or why you need to clarify or what the problem is to begin with. So I hope to demystify that process so that you can easily choose from a list of products that I'm going to provide based on your hair type, what's going to work for you, so that you have more success in the beginning and a lot less frustration. That's my goal for this video. Before we get into the products, you have to understand your hair type. And the first thing I'm going to say is that curl type doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter if you have 2C or 3B or 2A, it doesn't really matter. You are not going to choose the products based on your curl type. You are going to choose your products based on the way that your hair behaves. So there are a couple of questions that you need to ask yourself, and it's just 4 questions. So based on the answers to these questions is going to determine like what products you're going to choose. So number 1, you have to ask yourself, does my hair have color or heat damage? Very simple, yes or no. Second question, is my hair fine or coarse? And what that means is look at the individual strand. Is it very thin or is it a thicker strand? A thick strand is gonna be like a thread. It's gonna look like a thread, and then thinner is gonna be much finer than that. So that would be considered fine. There's fine, medium, and then the coarse would be like a really thick strand of hair. Question number 3 is, do I have a lot of hair, high density, or very little hair, low density? And the best way to test that is just let your hair fall normally, look in the mirror, can you see your scalp? If you could just see a little bit of your scalp, like the line or whatever, that would be medium. If you can't see your scalp at all, that's high density, because that means you have a lot of hair. If you can very easily see your scalp, especially in the back here, that's low density hair, and that's having very little hair. And then question number 4, does my hair get weighed down easily? And this is something that you should already know. Does your hair very easily get flat by putting products in it? Can it handle a lot of products in it? Can it handle a lot of conditioner and moisture? You'll know this even if you were straightening your hair. So those are the 4 questions you need to answer. Once you have the answer to those 4 questions, then you're going to use that information to help you choose products. So I'm going to give you a list of products to choose from, and then based on these answers, you're going to pick from that list, because not everything is good for everyone. That's the key thing to note here. So what products do you really need? You don't need a lot of products. This is another thing. People often will go, when they start, they go into Target and then they just go crazy and they buy like 15 products. And there's 3 gels and a leave-in conditioner and a regular conditioner and a deep conditioner and a shampoo, low poo, co-wash, all kinds of products. You don't need all that stuff, okay? You really only need 4 or 5 products depending on your hair type. So everybody needs a cleanser. Either a low poo cleanser, which is if you need less moisture. So for people who have fine, thin, low density hair, hair is not that dry, doesn't require a lot of moisture, you're gonna go with a low poo. Most people would go with a low poo. And then a co-wash is going to be for people with really, really thick, really extremely dry, high density hair that needs a lot more moisture. So if your hair's damaged, color treated, very dry, a co-wash would be good for you. Okay, and you can get both and you can alternate between the 2, but I would say to keep things simple, just pick one or the other. Most people are good with a low poo and some people are good with a co-wash. So I would start off with a low poo. Then you're going to need a clarifying shampoo. So this is a shampoo that does have a sulfate in it, and the reason is you want it to remove buildup that you will get, because everybody gets buildup all the time no matter what, from your products, from just your scalp and your hair, and from water, especially hard water. So if you have hard water, you are going to have more buildup than anybody else. because of that water. So you need a good clarifying shampoo to be used once every 4 to 8 weeks. Everybody has to do that. This is one of the biggest things that I see people struggle with, the buildup that they get on their hair when they change and start following the curly girl method, and the biggest mistake and problem that people are having. Okay, so a low poo or a co-wash, clarifying shampoo. Next, you need a conditioner. I would just say a regular conditioner that you can use as a leave-in if you need to, and even as a deep conditioner. Most conditioners can be used as deep conditioners. You don't need a separate deep conditioner unless you have very dry, very damaged hair. Otherwise, you can use your regular conditioner as 3 things: conditioner, leave-in conditioner, deep conditioner. You don't need to buy 3 separate products for that. And then you need 1, maybe 2 styling products. Most people are good with 1 styling product. I always recommend a gel or a custard, which is like a lightweight gel for everybody, because that is universally what works for most people. If you have particularly dry, thick hair, then you would do well adding in a second styling product that's moisturizing, like a curl cream or even a mousse to help with definition. And then, like I said before, if your hair is really dry or really damaged, then you do want a special deep conditioner formulated for damaged hair. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 products, like I said before. Now, how do you pick the products that you need? This is where we come back to the answers to the 4 questions that I talked about earlier. So I'm gonna give you a couple of tips here. Damaged hair needs more moisture overall. So you're gonna look for products that are moisturizing, like a co-wash, a curl cream, a nice thick conditioner. Fine and low density hair, remember, if you don't have a lot of hair, if it's very fine thin strands, that is going to require more lightweight products. And so you're also going to use less products. So you're going to want things that are like a custard, a very light conditioner. Thick and high density hair will require heavier products as well. And you're going to have to use more product than people with less finer hair. Everybody needs to clarify, like I said before, once every 4 to 8 weeks. The finer and thinner your hair is, the more often you're going to need to clarify. And if you have hard water, you're going to need to clarify more often. So for example, I clarify once a month. I have hard water and I have fine, thin hair. Deep conditioning for everybody is going to be about once a month. You can do more or less depending on your hair. If you've got really dry, damaged hair, you're going to want to do that more often, maybe once a week at first. Cut back as time goes and your hair starts to improve. If you have really fine, thin hair, keep an eye out on deep conditioning, because I rarely deep condition because it gives me too much moisture. So use your deep conditioner once a month at first. If you're noticing that it really makes your hair very soft and you lose your curl pattern very easily, then you're going to want to back off on the amount of deep conditioning that you're doing and try a deep conditioner that is really heavy in protein. That's going to help balance out the moisture so that you're not getting too much moisture. Super common with people that have fine, low density hair. Like I said before, you can use your regular conditioner as a leave-in and as a deep conditioner. So what you want to do is condition as normal, and then you're going to put like a pea-sized amount to about dime nickel-sized amount, depending on how much hair you have, as your leave-in conditioner with water mixed in. So you're going to like add water and dilute it. And then if you're going to use it as a deep conditioner, you just need to apply heat. That's really the only difference. Just put it on your hair, but let it sit for like an hour or so. Apply some heat, like a nice hot towel or a heat cap, and that's going to do the same job as a deep conditioner will. Most people only need 1 product. If you have a lot of hair, then 2 products would work well for you. I suggest layering a lightweight product first, like a mousse, a serum, and then something like a gel or a custard over that. If you have really dry hair, very thick hair, you can also do something like a curl cream underneath, a gel over. If you have fine, low density hair that's easily weighed down, stick with 1 product, and then experiment with the amount of product that you're using. Okay, you can start off with like a nickel quarter size amount and go up and down from there. Some people use palmfuls of product. I use a nickel for all of my hair. So it really depends on how much your hair needs, and that changes too. In the beginning I needed more product because my hair was more damaged, so it needed more to be tamed, versus now that it's healthier, I don't need to use as much product. So make sure that you're experimenting with the amount of product you're using, because that makes a big difference. And then another thing is make sure that if you are trying out something new, a new product, you give it a couple of tries before you decide it doesn't work for you, because sometimes it's as simple as using a different application method or using a different amount of product, and it's going to make a big difference. So make sure that you're actually testing a product out and not just using it one time and saying, okay, this doesn't work for me. Unless like you put a product in and it just feels like it dried your hair out, then that would be a reaction to an ingredient. I wouldn't test that out again. Okay, so as far as specific products and brands go, I have specific products listed in a blog post. There's quite a few, so I'm just going to link to that blog post below so that you can visit that blog post and go through the products. I have each product with a description next to it, what kind of hair it's good for, so you know. Okay, I do want to mention a couple of brands that I really like that universally work for most people. Giovanni, the 50/50 line, is really nice. The shampoo and conditioner pretty much works for everybody. Trelux is another one that seems to work well for everybody. Mop Top makes a couple of great products, as well as Evolve. You guys know they are my favorite. Jessie Curl is another popular one. Bounce Curl is really good for anybody with like thicker, drier hair. And then a couple of brands offer samples, and this is something that I strongly encourage in the beginning, so that you're not just buying a bunch of products, like full-size products that don't work for you. So Mop Top has samples on their website. Jessie Curl offers samples on their website, and Evolve has a trials kit. A couple of their products, they have samples, but they actually have trials kits, as well as Inner Sense has a trials kit. So those 4 places you can go and you can find some samples, and it's really helpful. And these are very high quality brands, so they're not going to build up as quickly as, let's say, like Shea Moisture. They're going to last a lot longer, and they're going to be much better for your hair. Like, your hair is going to get healthier quicker with those kinds of products, so I strongly recommend them. And that's why I like the samples programs, because then you can see really which products work for your hair. Because for example, Jessie Curl and Mop Top have a very big line, and they've got like multiple styling products and stuff like that. So this way you can test out different ones and see what actually works for you. As far as accessories go, there's only 3 things that I think you need. You need a good hair towel. I really like the one from Tea Owls because it's made out of t-shirt material. It's really big. It's like this big, it's like a regular towel basically, and it's all for your hair, so it's awesome. Then you need a hair buff or a scarf or something to cover your hair when you're sleeping, and a diffuser if you want to dry your hair with a hair dryer. Most people do, because air drying usually takes a couple of hours. So a good diffuser is the Extava Black Orchid or the Curly Co diffuser. Those are 2 popular ones, and that's pretty much it. I don't really think you need anything else. So 4 to 5 actual like hair products, 2 to 3 accessories. That's really all you need. And then once you've got all that stuff, you can get started. But there are a couple of things that I kind of want you to understand before you get started. So if you aren't exactly sure what exactly you need to do, and you need a little more help, and you want like a step-by-step guide, I do have a free download. It's 10 pages, and then it goes step-by-step with the whole curly girl method process, like washing your hair, how to wash it, how to condition it, how to style it, how to dry it, that kind of stuff. So you can download that below. And then a couple of things that I want to touch on briefly are, first off, you have to have the right mindset. This isn't change my products and my hair looks amazing next after wash day. That's not how this works. It's a very lengthy process where you don't see the results for months at a time. So you have to expect that. Don't expect to pick up the products that I use, wash your hair, and then have the same results that I have. My hair didn't look like this a year ago or 2 years ago or 3 years ago. Okay, so your hair is not going to improve drastically that quickly. It may look better after your first wash. Most likely it won't. It'll look worse because it'll be something different. So you have to understand that it's not just changing your products and all of a sudden your hair looks better. It's your hair is getting healthier over time. You are styling your hair correctly, because that's another big part of it. Aside from the right products, you have to use the right styling methods. If you have the right products but you're applying them incorrectly, your hair's not going to look good. I sometimes try products out and they look horrible, and then I try them again another time with a different styling method and it looks great. So, and that, you know, I've been doing this for years. So I really, really encourage you to focus on the application methods over the products. There's not like a one product solution that's going to eliminate all your frizz and just give you bouncy, shiny curls. It's not how it works. The whole process also, like, because you're focusing on your hair, you start to learn things about your hair, what it likes, what ingredients it likes, what types of products work well for it. And then that kind of helps you in the future make better decisions, like, okay, my hair doesn't seem to do well with gels that have aloe in them, let's say. So then you can know to avoid those kinds of products. And that's only something you learn by actually styling your hair using the curly girl method over some time. Second thing I recommend is to record everything. So I didn't do this, and I used to think it was ridiculous that people did this, but I understand now why. And in talking to people and doing these consultations, I realized that a lot of people have so many products and so much information, and there's all these methods. And so one wash day they use one set of products with one styling method, the next wash day they use something else, the next wash day they go back, and they're kind of all over the place, not following like a routine or really like experimenting. When you experiment, like there's a control, you have something to compare it to, but if you're constantly changing things, then you can't really judge anything. So if you're not keeping track of what you're changing, what you're doing, you're not going to know what the problem is when you have a problem. Let's say you get a new product and it starts making your hair dry, and you've been using it for 3 weeks and you don't notice it until 3 weeks pass by. You're like, gosh, my hair's been so dry for such a long time, but you've been changing your products. And so it could be any of these 5 products that I've introduced in my routine in the last 3 weeks. If you're recording things, you're going to know exactly what it is. You'll be able to look back and see, okay, look at when it started feeling dry or looking dry. This is the product that's in common in all these wash days. So I encourage you to record things. There's a good curls tracker that I recommend that I'll link below. You can just simply go into your calendar, and whenever you wash your hair for that date, you can just put in notes. Products you use, styling method. That's it. It takes you like 2 minutes just to enter that into your calendar, then it's always there. You can write it down somewhere. And I think the easiest thing to do, honestly, is to create a private Instagram account that you don't even have to like add any friends or anything. It could just be solely like a virtual library of your curly hair journey. So you take a picture, because it's the other thing I recommend. Take a picture of your wash days. Take a picture of your hair after it's done. In the captions, you write, you don't even have to put the date because it's automatically there. You just gotta write the products you used and the styling method. And then it's all there. It's not taking up space on your phone or anywhere else. And you can open it up and scroll through, and you can see visually the progress, and you can see how your hair looks with certain products. And so I think that's the best way to track everything and catch things before they get out of hand. Then I've talked about this before, embracing the frizz. So understand that frizz is part of our hair texture. It's not gonna go away completely. It'll get better, but you're not gonna eliminate frizz. So don't have that as your like, my goal is I'm gonna eliminate all my frizz. It's never gonna happen. I have frizz, everybody with curly wavy hair has frizz, and if you go outside, you're gonna have more frizz. And if you live in the South, you're gonna have tons of frizz all the time, no matter what you do. So you have to learn to embrace it and make it work for you. There is such a thing as having too much frizz, and you can reduce it, and I have a blog post and a video about that. But like I said, you're still gonna have some frizz. So accept the frizz and be okay with it, because it's not gonna go away. Then my last recommendation is to join a community. So again, I'm gonna talk about Instagram. The Instagram curly hair community is amazing. There are so many people on there, like thousands of people that have accounts that are just about curly hair, and you can keep it private. You don't even have to have a public account, but it's just a supportive community of men and women, because there are men that do this as well. And in all honesty, of all the other like niches and stuff, they are the most supportive and helpful and kind group of people that I've ever seen. I don't get hate comments from the curly hair community like I get it from others. When somebody is struggling, they really come and help you troubleshoot and figure out what it is that's wrong with you, and recommend things and kind of pull each other up, which is great. So it's good to have that kind of system, that system of people to support you. And then also when you're struggling, like they're struggling too. There's other people that are in the same position as you are, and they're gonna post, look at my failed wash day, look at my hair. So it's kind of good for you to see, oh, there's other people that are having the same problem that I'm having. I'm not crazy. It's not just me. It's totally normal, and it does make you feel better. So I think it's super important to join a community for something like this, where it's kind of like working out and losing weight. It's a long-term thing that you're in, and you have more success when you've got a bunch of people doing it with you to keep you on track. So same thing, same theory with that. And I strongly recommend the curly hair community. You can come follow me at Holistic Enchilada. Post on there all the time. All right, that's it. That's everything. This was a lot longer than I anticipated, but really it's not complicated. I just want you to like have the right idea and start off with the right products. I don't want you to just go in blindly to like Target and just buy a bunch of products and find out that half of them don't work for you and you wasted your money and your hair doesn't look good and you're super frustrated and you hate the curly girl method. I want you to avoid that. So that's my goal. Hopefully I did help. This is helpful for you and you can go in and choose the right products. So like I said, the products listed are on my blog. So if you click the link to the blog post, and about halfway down that blog post, you'll see the full list of the specific products I recommend based on your hair type. So you can make your list or shop directly from my website, doesn't matter, and try things that are actually going to be helpful or actually going to work for your hair type. Now, if you still need help, so you can book a coaching call with me, and I have 15, 30, and 45-minute options, so we can take as little or as much time as you need, and I can recommend if it's just one kind of product you're looking for, if you need the full routine, definitely help you with that, so that way you can be started on the right track, and that way you'll know exactly when to wash your hair, and how often, and when to use this, and when to use that, and what products are gonna work for you. And I also have my curly hair course for something a little more thorough. And that's just gonna walk you through like identifying your hair type, identifying the right products and ingredients for your hair type, and building your custom routine, tracking everything, understanding when to do treatments and deep conditioning and clarifying and that kind of stuff, and then troubleshooting any problems like protein moisture imbalance, frizz, volume, scalp problems, hair loss, all that kind of stuff. So I cover a lot in that course, and it's basically just a walkthrough where I'm guiding you with videos and text information on creating your routine so that you can revive your curls and embrace your curly hair. All right, so all of that stuff is linked below. I hope this video was helpful. Let me know in the comments if you still have any questions, any feedback. I welcome all the feedback. As you can see, I haven't done my hair in a couple of days, so I put it up in this headband. I really like this headband. This is from Busy Bee Headcrafts. Busy Bee Headbands, not Headcrafts. It's a scarf tie headband, and I'm addicted to her headbands. I think I have 14 now. Every time she launches, I have to buy like 2 or 3. They're just like the cutest prints. And then like I looked like crap today, but this pretty printed headband just makes me look better, I think. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. If you want more content on curly hair and clean beauty, then hit that subscribe button, like this video, and I will see you in the next one.